Cheers and good morning, because it is before 7 a.m. when this process started. Welcome to MoWino. I have a big day today, and I live in the Northeast, and it is chilly cold. So of all the days that you want to work from home, this is one of them. However, I have to go out and about before 9 a.m. So I'm actually preparing dinner now, so that when we come home tonight, all we have to do is heat it up, and it's going to be yummy. It's the week after Thanksgiving, so we still have Thanksgiving turkey in the house, leftovers. And one of my grandmother's favorite leftover dishes after Thanksgiving was to make chop suey. So I am going to make a version of my grandmother's chop suey. However, of course, this is MoWino, so we're adding some wine. So it's a very simple dish. You saw the prep board, and now we're going to just combine everything together, let it simmer, put it in the fridge for the rest of the day, and then when we come home tonight, it's going to be yummy. So instead of the traditional, I need a cup of joe, so that helps. So traditionally, instead of doing a stir fry and sauteing our vegetables, I am going to put them in a big stock pot, and I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use 3/4 of a cup of wine, but I'm going to check that out when we get going. One of our leftover wines from Thanksgiving is a Portuguese wine, Vinho Verde, from Broadbent, which is pretty much a easily accessible and reachable wine in my neighborhood. I see it in liquor stores and wine shops and grocery stores all around. But it's very economical, it's light and refreshing, and we have about half a bottle left. So I thought that I would add that to our chop suey and make this, I guess, a fusion of American, Asian, and Portuguese dinner tonight. So I'm just adding to my stock pot my chopped vegetables of carrots, onions, and celery. And I tried to make them a little different by cutting them diagonally to add to the chop suey aroma and finesse. So I just put this in a dry stock pot, and literally I'm going to add my wine. And that just enough coats it so they're not sitting in liquid, but they are taking a nice little float, if you will. I'm going to let them simmer in the wine and sort of steam. I'm going to put the lid on, and then I'll bring you back. Cheers. Hi. So our vegetables have been simmering in our wine for, I would say, about 5 minutes, and they're starting to soften, and the wine's starting to evaporate, and I don't want the pot to burn. So I'm going to add some more layers of flavor. It is the week after Thanksgiving, after all, so I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of pureed pumpkin. And when I was roasting my turkey, one of the things I did was I roasted a head of garlic. So this is roasted garlic, which will sweeten our chop suey with some really good flavor. The aromas are just incredible right now. Okay. So I have more ingredients of flavors. I'm going to add a heaping tablespoon, my standard measurement, of chopped garlic. And I'm going to use my squeezed ginger, which to me just works better than having real ginger in the house, and then it always goes bad. There we go, another heaping teaspoon. And some soy sauce, which is light sodium soy sauce. And I'm not doing brand promotion or anything, but there are certain soy sauces that are gluten-free, and this is one of them. So you gluten people don't need to worry about it. So just adding all of this loveliness to our vegetables. starting to look a little tasty and interesting now. So I have here about a half a dozen chopped scallions. I have 1 can of water chestnuts that I have. They were whole water chestnuts, but I sliced them again on the diagonal, similar to the celery. You could buy sliced water chestnuts, but I wanted a better, thicker consistency, so I buy whole and I chop it to myself. Okay. Now, I have chopped 4 cups of dark leftover turkey meat from Thanksgiving, and I'm gonna do half of this first, because I want to see how we go with the ratio and the balance of all the ingredients first. I have 1 can of drained bean sprouts. I don't know what it is, but my grocery store that's local, like 2 blocks away, doesn't ever have fresh bean sprouts anymore. And if they do, it's a very small amount. So I ended up buying canned, but if you can get fresh, it's better. Okay, so this actually looks pretty good consistency-wise. So now I'm going to add 2 cups of chicken broth and let it simmer for a little bit. And okay, our chopped suey is boiling away. I'm going to let it simmer for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to turn it off and let it cool, put it in the fridge, head off to work, and when I come home tonight, there's going to be lovely chopped suey, savory and delicious, so we only have to heat up and steam some rice. Cheers!